Okay, that's one. Hi. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Spring Bank Holiday Monday. It's been a very quiet weekend. Nothing planned. Didn't go away, haven't seen anybody, haven't done anything really. So it's just been nice having this time, this unexpected, unaccounted for time to just contemplate and do a few things around the house. There's always stuff to be done, things to be sorted out. And sometimes I just like to have free time, completely free really, where nothing is scheduled. And sometimes I think I'm a bit afraid of it. I don't really want this. Or I think, I don't know, it feels slightly scary, you know, that there's nothing happening, you know. And then you realize that actually all of the time you're just doing something, your time is taken up, especially if you work, and especially if you work full time, and also live on your own, as I do, so that you have all of the domestic duties to do as well. So there isn't, in general, much free time. You know, if you want to live in reasonable conditions, a fairly tidy house, and eat good food, and, you know, wear iron clothes and so on and so forth, without, you know, being excessive, obviously. So that's how one's life is mainly taken up with the trivial, really, the unimportant on one level, but actually quite necessary on another. Because of course, the one I always remember hearing it said long time ago now, that artists are never bored, and I thought that was a very interesting comment. It never struck me, you know. And of course it's true, because you could always think of something to do. It's like even from when you were a child, drawing and painting and making things and all the rest of it. You could just always keep yourself amused, and I like to do I always like to be sort of making something, really. Now lately that's been travel photography, if you like, because I've been traveling quite a bit. But then, you know, making these kind of sets, a collection of pictures from a trip, say a 2-week trip, I might end up with, you know, 90, 100 pictures out of, I might have taken 500 or 600 pictures. And then these are all heavily processed and manipulated. You know, not with a big kind of Photoshop thing, no. Just what's on my little laptop. And so it's great, but I mean, it's not. Do I see it as art as such? I don't know. I mean, in a way, yes, but it's not like, say, making a painting or making a collage, or, you know, I mean, God, what's art, you know? So this is kind of like, in its a sort of piece of art, really, in a way, which is kind of a rambling to the camera and thinking, well, what is it that I want to say? What is it? And I'm very interested and very drawn to the banal, really, the ordinary, the everyday. I've just been looking at some postcards that I brought back from Italy, where I was. And of course most of the art is religious art, and so they're all glorious, high Renaissance, very, very, what can you say, very elaborate, very decadent, very baroque, you know, as opposed to the earlier stuff of the mosaics in Ravenna, for instance, which was in the 6th century, and something so simple. Well, they're iconic, they're like icons. There's just a purity about them and a simplicity about them, really, and a lack of artifice, if you like. That is very, but to me it's far more spiritual, or it certainly evokes more spiritual feelings, whereas the Renaissance, once it got going, it became fantastic, wonderful, amazing. Who could, you know, deny that these are not magnificent achievements? But really, what are they about? They're just, it's almost, how elaborate can you do something? How extravagant can you make everything? You know, and you'd have to say that, you know, say looking at Christianity, what has that got to do with Christianity, and what Christianity is, as far as I understand it, about? You know, I think Christianity, like all of the major religions, simple message, very, very simple message. You know, love one another, and, you know, basically be good, you know, and have a positive impact on the world, and not, you know, a negative one in any way, and, you know, honor God, whatever your concept of God is, if you have one. So, I don't know, you know, I really don't know. I mean, whereas the high Renaissance is almost like, what is that? Is it about power? And you mean they would make the argument, I suppose, that you're producing your best possible work for God, you know, so God's the supreme one. But, you know, and, you know, I suppose you could argue that, but I don't think. I think it's to do with church and institutions and, you know, politics and stuff like that. It's not really got to do with, you know, just people's, an individual's relationship with God or spirituality or whatever, you know, maybe for some people it is, I don't know. Anyway, there we are. So typically, of course, I don't know how did I get onto that? I don't know, I can't remember now. Anyway, I'm just going to call a halt here, because